Richie asked me if I'm ready. Yes, I'm always ready when it's Tuesday night, and this is Team FYN Sports. And Circuit World of East LJ presents Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk. We want to thank Shane's Rib Shack and Pepsi for the meal tonight. We want to thank them. We're here with head coach Casey Wingard. Also, the defensive coach Thomas Flowers is with us tonight. And on the couch for our first half, number 76, offensive line. He's a junior, Tyson Elliott. And number 4, wide receiver and also a corner, senior Blake Bunton. So before we get started, Coach, I told you before we got started I have a load of questions, right?
Okay. Loaded answer?
I got a load of questions.
Okay.
But you got to give me an answer now.
Okay.
All right? And then we're going to have to bring this coach in on it.
Okay.
You got to get ready. All right. Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
So I'm over at Shane's picking up the meal.
Trouble,
okay. You know this question's trouble already, right? So I'm over at Shane's picking up the meal, you know. So I got a couple minutes. So I look up at the menu, see if anything's changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I see the rack of ribs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Right, exactly. You're with me. I figured you was with me.
Now
Okay.
I'm hungry.
All right, now you're with me. I don't understand the half rack. Do you?
No.
Why they even? But that's a half rack guy.
Yeah, I got you.
Right?
I got you. Now.
Is he?
Yes.
That's half rack, right?
Yes. I got it.
But you and I don't understand that half rack why it's on the menu, right?
The concept is foreign.
Exactly.
To me.
Okay. So I'm over there. I'm thinking. I bet Coach Wingard's just like me. We don't understand that. What's the use?
It's a waste.
We know, Coach. They put the half rack on there for.
That's for me. Yeah.
Am I in trouble? Oh, I'm in big trouble. I'm sorry. Folks, let's have some fun tonight.
I need the half rack.
Okay, you need the half rack. Folks, we are talking Quad A Region 6 football. Let me give you a little rundown. Bobcats are coming off a loss on their first region game to Heritage. The Bobcats will be traveling down to Pickens Friday night. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Rivalry game. Heritage is hosting Southeast Whitfield County. Lafayette is hosting Northwest Whitfield County, and Ridgeland has a bye this week. From around the region last Friday night, Ridgeland was over Northwest Whitfield 48-7, and Southeast Whitfield over Lafayette 48-26. And Pickens is off this. Pickens was off last Friday night. Coach, first region game. You had 4 non-region. A lot of stuff to work on. Now you're in the region play. Heritage had some struggles Friday night, but tell me a little bit about the team and where we're at right now as far as in the season. Where we're at with the team right now.
Going with our team is, it's the same kind of concept we teach the kids each week. We got our opponent in front of us on Friday night. We're going to break down film. We're going to roll it out to our kids and show formations, look at the offense and see where we think we can move the ball and create those first downs and hold on to the ball. So focus in on ourselves. And that's our word of the week this week. When I talked to the team Monday, we just need focus. We need to focus in on each individual skill and position, knowing your job and doing your job.
Coach Flowers, let me ask you now, when you're coaching and you're in your coaching career and you're in a season where things are going a little different, let's say like that, but the side of coaching when you got to get the guys out there, keep them unified, keep them pumped up, don't let them get discouraged, and come back Monday morning to practice to play football. Talk about that a little bit.
I think Coach Wingard said it. Just staying focused. I think one of the biggest distractions you can have, is just a bad season. Okay, a season that you really didn't, wouldn't hope for, and that can be a huge distraction. So when we talk to the kids, we're honing in on focus, and as a coach, I've got to do the same. I can't be distracted by any game that we played before. I can evaluate and learn. But we got to move on and play the next game.
All right, Coach. Let's before I get the guys in here, Pickens, you're going down there Friday night. It's a big rivalry game.
Yes.
Are the guys pumped up this week?
Yes, they're pumped up this week. And one thing with them getting pumped up and excited, I just keep going back to that focus thing with them. Like, it's good. Let's get pumped up, get fired up, but also we need to focus on us. Doing our assignments correctly, and I think the kids, they had a little pep in their step when after coming off Friday night, Monday it came, and it was Pickens week. We were telling the kids that they got to focus in on everything, and they seemed really excited, and they were picking up and listening, being attentive. So it was pretty good.
Let me start with you, Tyson. The offensive line, you guys been working together. You got half the season under your belt. How are the guys coming along? Are you guys still staying unified, pumped up, encouraged about every Friday night when you go out there on the practice field?
Yes, sir. The offensive line this year, I feel like we've just been so, like, the only way I could put it is like together, like unified, as you said. Every week we talk to each other. We're excited. We can't wait to get another chance to get better, and yeah.
So good attitude on the field.
Yes, sir.
Everybody coming out on the practice field, good attitude. Forget Friday night, and it's time to practice Monday.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with you, Blake. You're a wide receiver, corner, having trouble getting out fast enough, not yourself personally, but getting out there fast enough against some of these teams to be able to get the ball thrown to you. So what are some of the things you guys are working on the field, on practice field, to try to get some of those plays to work in a game?
I'm trying to learn our actual jobs, because some people don't know them because we're at new positions. Mainly the front line, he just focused on them learning their, like, what to do on what play, and that's what he's doing with all the O-line right now. So they actually know who to block and not to mess it up again.
Well, Coach, let me ask you. I mean, I know certain years, at certain points of the season, fundamentals is not exactly what you want to be focusing on right then. But is that what you're really doing week after week, is still working hard on those fundamentals throughout the week?
Yes, we're focusing on fundamentals throughout the week, but also assignment knowledge is one of our big things. Rolling out with a new offense and all that we're doing, we see bits and pieces that are very good, and we show the kids on film, here's what you did right on this play. Same play, 2, 3, 4 calls later, something changes a little bit following their rules. So assignment knowledge is our number one concern, along with fundamentals too. So that's what we've been focusing on each week as far as offense and even defensive goes, as that matter. It's just assignment knowledge, getting used to being on the field, getting the assignment and all that with a lot of the kids we have.
Coach Flowers, Pickens, Friday night. I've watched them play several times this year, and their quarterback, Jacob Brumby, he's really matured. He is a senior, and he's really matured year after year. And this year, Pickens has a passing game that they've not had in the past, based on they had some different guys maybe in the backfield. But this year they have several receivers, and they have a passing game. They're putting a lot of yards in the air, unlike years in the past. So in your secondary, there's some of the things that you're focusing in on this week on their offense. What are some of the keys that you're looking at?
Well, we're not focusing on just one player. They got a great quarterback. They've got a very good offensive line, and receivers that have been in the system for a long time now, and grew up in the system. And we're really they do so many formations. We've just really gotten back to fundamentals and trying to simplify things while still trying to be complex at the same time. Being complex but not complicated for ourselves.
What are some of the accomplishments you're seeing, Coach? Because again, we leave that up to you, because like I say, every week, week in and week out, we know where we're at. Okay, you got to be where where you're at. But there are accomplishments week in and week out with the program, the players, everything in general, the whole circle, that are not translating to the border or people see from the stands. What are some of the accomplishments that you can highlight that you think that we're?
I think the team atmosphere, knowing that most of the team we have right now is coming together each week. How staying focused this week, all those kind of distractions and all that. Going through a season or going through games like we've played so far, I tell the kids this, and when I turn around and see them mimicking me and kind of listening to what I say, that's a positive. I'm going to come to come to school, go to practice, and go to work. I'm not going to worry about last week, week before last, all that kind of stuff, because we have another opportunity in front of us to play Friday night and get better as a whole team. And I think that's a huge accomplishment for this season so far. Is this is hard. It has been difficult on Friday night, standing out there and things not going your way, or coming at halftime and all that kind of stuff going with the scoreboard. But honing these kids in and getting them tight together and getting them more close-knit and forming kind of a barrier between us and the outside distractions, that's what I see us creating and working towards, and each week getting better. I mean, the competition is there, and we play some very good teams. And as long as we work on assignment knowledge and fundamentals and get better at each little thing each week, we are improving as a team. From offense to defense to the backfield to the DBs, everything, to the sideline and all that, because we constantly harp on that with our kids. So that's what I see as a whole, just as far as Gilmer football.
Well, I will comment that this region, this is a solid region. I mean, this is a solid region. There's not a bad team on Friday night. There's not a team that you go in saying, this is the game or whatever. You gotta play football every Friday night in this region. Same way he touched on some of it. Let me ask you on the defensive side, because you guys are together this year and for the first time for a full season, working two sides of the ball. What on the defense are some of the things? Scoreboard doesn't reflect it. Teams are putting up a lot of points. But what are some of the fundamentals or some of the things that you're seeing in the defense that we can build on week after?
Yeah, we're really molding as a team, but defensively, we're just now starting to be able to, do the small things right and make adjustments off of that, and be able to, communicate with the kids and them understand that, hey, they're hurting us here. Let's do this now, and making that adjustment, whether it be, in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, whenever. And that's been a huge deal, and it's just now starting to kind of happen.
Let me go to you before we go to our first break, because Mr. Elliott, we ask this all the time. You've been here before. This Monday when you came in, you got 5 games under your belt. We're in region play. What are you personally working on this week? What do you think, hey, I need to focus on myself, I need to work harder at?
Personally, I didn't actually play any center this week or last week because I was still healing from an ankle injury, but I got to play some defense. So what I really wanted to work on is getting my defensive knowledge better, since I was told I'll start be playing a little bit of both ways from D-line coach. But that's what my first focus was, and of course I always want to keep getting better at offense as well. So,
Mr. Bunton, same for you. What are you focusing on this week in practice?
I had to learn a new offense because I'm not playing receiver anymore. They put me at halfback, so I'm focused on learning offense, and on defense I try to focus on what formations they're in and what to do when they're in that formation.
Well, guys, I'm very proud of you. I thank you for coming out here, sitting in front of the camera, answering questions for the fans out there. And I got my purple shirt on. People talk about that.
Yeah, they do. It looks really good. I got to get you a hat.
Yeah. If I just had a hat,
I'll get you a hat.
Guys, thanks a lot. Good luck Friday night. Big rivalry game. Are you excited about playing Pickens?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. We don't say too much. All right. We'll be right back. You're watching Turf Talk, Bobcat Turf Talk. I am BKP, and we are at Circuit World at East LJ. And we want to thank Shane's Rib Shack and Pepsi for providing the meals and drinks tonight, and all of our sponsors at Team FYN Sports. Take us a break, Richie.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Days Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ellijay Fitness Center, located at 379 River Street in Ellijay. Open 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Locally owned and operated by Mark and Amy Woodring. Now offering sport-specific training to young athletes. Doesn't matter the sport. If you want to excel, let us help you be your best. Call or come by today for customized programs. 706-636-2348. Ellijay Fitness Center, your local and friendly health club. A place where everybody is somebody.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win.
If you just joined us, Bobcats head coach Casey Wingard, defensive coordinator Thomas Flowers, and joining us now from the Bobcats, number 56, offensive lineman Kyle Paris. That would be you, right? Because he doesn't. Does he look like a Kyle? No, he doesn't look like a Kyle. No. Okay, all right. So we have Kyle Paris with us, number 56, and defensive end, tight end, and he's a junior, Bryson Smith, number 48. All right, he looks like Bryson.
Yeah, he's a Bryson.
Yeah, he's a Bryson. Glad to have you guys. Let's get back to Pickens this Friday night. Guys, it's a rivalry football game. A little extra excitement around the locker room on the practice field this week.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to playing them?
Yes, sir. Always.
Always? Always looking forward to playing them? Let's talk about offensive line, Kyle. I had Mr. Elliott in here. I'm going to ask you kind of the same questions. You have 5 games under your belt, 1 region game. Are you guys this week walking through some of the offensive line scheme and everything? How is that going with the line? Are you guys coming together? How do you think the line is doing right now?
I think the line, we're coming together. Most of us all is getting down our plays, learning the formations, the calls, learning when to call the right stuff, and I think we're gonna perform this week.
Well, let me ask you. You know, the line is very important. I always enjoy when the coaches bring linemen on the show because there's 11 guys, and I love to talk to the quarterbacks and the running backs and the receivers. But you know, the line is where I think it starts right there. It's where it works. Are you guys all coming together, getting along, pumping each other up, encouraging each other? Nobody getting down?
No, sir.
Everybody staying encouraged and pumped up?
Yes, sir.
Good to hear that. All right, let me go with you, Bryson. Tight end, defensive end. On the defensive side, Pickens has a lot of weapons coming at you from a lot of different. They got a lot of different plays. You're going to see a lot of different lineups Friday night. Are you watching the film? Or already into Tuesday watching the film? Are you guys think you're getting adjusted to picking up these different assignments and knowing your assignment and picking up these different plays?
The coaches do a pretty good job of keeping us informed on what to do on certain formations or when a certain person's in. And I think we just keep our head up as a defensive line unit that we should be okay with our defensive assignment knowledge.
Very important on that defensive side for these guys to know who just shot into the game. And that can tell you what lineup you might see, right, Coach Flowers?
That's right.
Are you really starting to get a good communication with your defense out there on the field of, hey, this formation, you're going to see this, watch this? How's that coming along?
Oh, yeah. Pickens, they do a lot of different formations, and it's just a good opportunity for them to get better at recognizing formation, because we've got to recognize all the formations so we can just get lined up and carry out our assignments.
On the offensive side, are you working on some new things, Coach? And I guess the only way I know to put it to say, let's see if this works with the group we have this year, and let's see if we can make this work with the people we have in place. Is that what you're doing right now?
Yes, we're looking at the defenses, every week we play and what we think we can attack and how we can get the edge or how we can open gaps up for that. David's done a phenomenal job kind of reading. A couple bad reads here, but some really good reads at some point. So we're trying to take, last week we were trying to go with a couple of play game set where we would look at something and read a certain defensive end or flowing linebacker or see if the safety was rolling down. Now we're kind of looking at the same kind of stuff, but maybe seeing how we can get the ball moving a little bit more.
How about passing game? Are you haven't been able to pass very much? Haven't been able to get that going with David there in the back? You got a good quarterback behind center. Are there some things that you maybe can start working on to where you can get the passing game moving a little bit?
Yeah, we've been working on today and yesterday. We have it put into our script, and we've been throwing the ball pretty good, and it's been looking a lot better than it did the previous weeks when we would try to get out and either set back or roll out and throw the ball. So we've been really focusing on the receivers getting to their routes and cuts. And David, of course, has a great arm, and then just watching him get out, has looked a lot better each week.
Folks, let me give you a rundown really quick before we get close to the end of the show. We always keep you up on what's happening here. This is Quad A Region 6 football. We're talking the Bobcats are coming off their first region loss here to Heritage last Friday night, but they're going to be traveling down to Pickens. Big rivalry game. Kickoff is 7:30, so we want you to travel down there, support your Bobcats Friday night against the Pickens Dragons. Also this Friday night, if you're keeping up with the region, Heritage is hosting Southeast Whitfield County, Lafayette is hosting Northwest Whitfield County, and Ridgeland has a bye. You could follow all of those games. The Pickens game, you can follow the Gilmer Bobcats game. You can follow at Team FYN Sports. That's at Team FYN Sports. Follow us on Twitter for highlights throughout the game. We tweet everything out. And also, if you would like our new page, Team FYN Sports Facebook page, we keep everything on there throughout the week, all of our Player of the Week, sports shows. You can find all the shows throughout the week on there also. The last week around the region, Ridgeland was over Northwest Whitfield 48-7. Southeast Whitfield was over Lafayette 48-26, and Pickens was off. Coach, let me go. I know we've answered this a couple different ways, but keeping a team together, keeping their heads up, keeping them focused, and that's what you said. We're working on strong, keeping them encouraged. I mean, what's that like for you? What's that like for you this year? To not just, I know I'm old school, so I still say X's and O's,
right?
But not spending all of your time on X's and O's where you would like to be,
right?
And having to put a portion or a good portion at a time, keeping the team encouraged.
You know, when we meet as coaches, when we look at our football team, we're building a program. We're not trying to build season, if that makes any sense. We're trying to build an entire systematic program in Gilmer County that can have consistency, because there's great examples out there that sees coaches being there for a while and having a program systematic running through. You can have a lot of success with that. I've explained that, and we've sat and talked, and I spend time with the kids, keeping them bought in and keeping them out on the team. That's always the challenge, because we met with the kids and we taught, it's very difficult and hard. This is football. Some things in life are going to be hard later on when you're out of high school, going to college, or get a job, or married, or some things are going to be hard. So showing them, and from the coaching staff that I have right now, we show up every day ready to work, organized, knowing what we're doing. The kids have responded phenomenally. We're not going to come crack down on them, all that kind of stuff like that, just because we're trying to get them to learn the system, get better each week. And I think that they have noticed that from us. It's been a great response, and I feel like we have gotten better each week. So that's the challenge, going through the first 5 games and all that we have, and just chopping the axe, keep sharpening the axe, keep chopping the wood each week, and just focusing on us and focusing on getting better. Me getting better as a coach, Coach Flowers getting better, Kyle and Bryson, holding the kids accountable, all that kind of stuff puts together as a program in the school and on the football field as well too. So I think it's going, from the response that I get from the kids and everything else, I think it's, it's working. We are getting better, and I'm excited about it. Because it's easy to hang your head, kick the dirt, and just kind of throw your hands up. That's defeatist mentality, and I can't stand that. And I talk to the kids about that. And you see them respond to it. You see them act that way, answer, how they do, and all that kind of stuff, and it's positive.
Well, it takes more strength for what you guys are doing now than other teams have. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. It takes more strength, what you guys are doing out there on the practice field, staying positive and being unified. You're actually a team. Regardless of what that board says, it takes more strength, and you guys are a really great team in so many ways. And I want to say, I don't want to say I never want to call, we always highlight these young men in a positive way. So this is not reflecting to any individual. This is a program comment. Mm-hmm. But you started 0.
Right.
Program. That's a program. Not a kid. Not any of the players. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because I don't want anybody at home to think I would ever say anything negative. But I'm talking to program. So so we got to work every Friday night all week long, and they're doing it. These Bobcats are doing it, and I'm proud of them, and they're going to be all right. And I like my purple. For those of you watching out there, I'm going to get some comments. Let me ask you before we leave tonight. Let me wrap up here with you, Mr. Smith. This week, personally, what are you working on this week? What are you saying I want to focus in on and work on this week?
I'm working on being more aggressive with my hands and being able to show the tackle or the tight end, whoever is blocking me, faster.
Okay, and yourself, Kyle, what are you working on this week?
This week I'm trying to be more aggressive, make sure I step off with the right foot, come off hard, get up on the linebackers when I got to block them, make sure I get my head in there, and just focus up this week and try to get everybody else focused along with me.
Well, thanks for coming tonight, sitting on the couch, answering questions, and being a part of our show. We always enjoy this every Tuesday night. So if I go over to Shane's, I pick up a rack and a half rack.
Yeah.
Fries?
Yeah, I'll take
You good with that?
fries, too.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, man. What am I going to do with this guy? Hey, I absolutely love this. This is one of the, I just enjoy getting together with these young men and the coaches every night of the week, 4 nights a week, in fact. But you've been watching Gilmer Bobcats Turf Talk every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And you can also find this replay. You can find this on our Facebook page. That's Team FYN Sports. And we also upload it. We upload it to fyntv.com on demand. So thank you, Circuit World of East LJ. Thank you, Shane's Rib Shack and Pepsi for the meal. Thank all these young men for being here tonight. And all of our sponsors at Team FYN Sports. Come down Friday night, game time, 7:30 kickoff. You'll be able to see the Pickens Dragons and the Gilmer Bobcats. Just a game every year. Friday Night Lights in the fall that you don't want to miss. Come down and support these guys. I'm your host, BKP. We are out.